everybody. It's been, well, let's see, last time you saw me, I was failing miserably at my first day of injections. Um, but uh, after my little meltdown, I called the nurse and she walked me through what I needed to do. And we got everything reconstituted and injected. And by day two, I was a pro. So that day finished off well. A little nerve wracking, but it was okay. It ended up being good in the end. So so I just wanted to give you guys a quick update about what's been going on the last week or so, because it's been, a really busy and just an emotionally draining week, which I'm sure everybody can attest to at one point in time in life, having a really rough week. But I I had my first stem check on the 30th of September, which was last week Wednesday. And at that time, I had 35 follicles. I had 20 on the left, and I had 15 on the right. And my E2 at that point was 226, and my lining was 10.4, which was really good. So then they had me back on Saturday, last Saturday, which was October 3rd, for another stem check. And at that point, I had 27 follicles, 12 on the right and 15 on the left. And at that point, my E2 was 1438, but my lining had dropped to 9.8. And that was Saturday, and the nurse said, you're really close, but you're not quite close enough, but we need to monitor you. By this point, I was really starting to feel like my ovaries had swelled to the size of like 10-pound grapefruits. I mean, it was just really hard to walk, hard to get up and down. I mean, just really, really painful. And so they had me continue on my same dosage of medication, and then had me back the very next day, that Sunday, with this past Sunday, which was October 4th. And at that point, I had 30 follicles, 15 on the left and 15 on the right. My E2 was 1782, and my lining had jumped to 13.2. So at that point, I had been stemming for 9 days, and the doctor decided I was ready to go. Although my largest follicles were only 19 and 20, and I had a couple 18s and a couple 16s. I didn't really think I was ready to go yet, but they're professional. He knows exactly what he's doing. So after a little worrying on my part, which was completely unnecessary, we decided to go ahead and follow the doctor's directions and to stop the stems on the night of the 4th. And I was to take my Avidrel at 10:15 and start the doxycycline and the Medrol, and the usual, no food or drink after midnight, preparing for the retrieval. So the retrieval was on Monday, this past Monday, which was the 6th of October at 9:30. And so just a little funny side story. When we got back to the anesthesiologist's room, there was another couple in there preparing for their egg retrieval. We were both scheduled at 9:30, and when the anesthesiologist was running her IV, she just completely lost it. Just was crying hysterically. I guess she has a really, really bad phobia of needles, and it was just mind blowing to me how you get to that stage of IVF and be so detrimentally scared of needles. But I mean, I guess it happens to everybody at some. Everybody's scared of something. So I just thought that was really interesting to be going through this process and be so scared. But that just goes to tell you what people will deal with and what they're willing to sacrifice in order to get pregnant and have babies. So I thought that was just a little interesting side story. Anyway, on Monday, my egg retrieval is at 9:30, and of the 31 follicles that they retrieved, only 9 eggs were mature, which was very upsetting to me and very disheartening. And I got quite upset, and my husband Paul couldn't figure out what the problem was. He said, 9 sounds good, what's wrong? And 9 from 31 was just mind blowing to me. I mean, I know from research that not every follicle will have an egg in it, but I just wasn't prepared to hear 9. I was expecting at least half. I mean, of course, I think my expectations during this process has been really, really high, which is probably what's causing some of my worry about this. But nonetheless, they got 9 eggs, and they called with my fertilization report yesterday morning, which was the 7th. They called and said that of the 9 eggs, that 5 of them fertilized, 3 through the ICSI process, and 2 naturally. So we have a total of 5 eggs, 5 embryos rather. And so I got another call today saying that our egg transfer would be tomorrow, which is Friday the 9th, I believe tomorrow is. So lots has happened in the last 7-8 days, and it's just been a really fast process. It's gone really, really fast, and I'm happy that it did, but I'm also very aware of how long the next week and a half is going to be for me. So I'm fully prepared. I'm on the couch. I've got my blanket. The dog, Sasha's usually here with me, and I've got my planner and books and plenty of DVDs stacked up and ready to roll for the next week and a half. So that's where we're at. We've got egg transfer tomorrow, and they're going to give us a report on how many embryos are left and how many, I guess the grading and the quality of them, all of that will come tomorrow. So as of right now, my husband is in Ohio, and so he will be driving all night to get home so that we can get down to the doctor we have to be there at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So for those of you that didn't know, my doctor is actually in Illinois, in one of the western suburbs of Chicago, and we live in Wisconsin. So we have roughly a 2-hour drive in front of us every time we have a stem check or a doctor's appointment, which became really exhausting last week when I was there Wednesday, and then again on Saturday morning at 7:35, and then again Sunday morning at 8. It just got to wear on me, but again, it's the name of the game, and it's the sacrifice. It's what everybody does that's had this particular struggle of infertility, and just goes to show that people don't give up easily when they want a family, and this is what it's all about. So I will probably have another update after the transfer and let you guys know how many, if any, are able to be frozen. And we know that only 2 will be transferred. My doctor is a stickler for only transferring 2, no matter the quality of the eggs, the health of the mother, or the patient. He will only transfer 2 in order to reduce the frequency of high order multiples, I should say. So we're hoping for twins. If we get 1, we are grateful to God for that 1. So I will update you guys in a day or 2. Have a good day.